Gamer chair. Now, I am going to check if this stream is indeed running as intended. It is. Very nice. Give me broadcast audio. Good, good, good. Okay. No, Google. Bad Google. That's actually a Twitch advert, but anyway. So yeah, this is round 9 of Division 3 Rapid Racing League, and tonight we're in Portugal. A wonderful track, actually. Very, very cool track. I'll do the usual stick once everyone is in. We've only got 9 people. I really should spectate, actually. I just forgot about that. I'm not participating in Div 3. But with the pace of some of these guys here, and how unpracticed I've been, like how little practice I've had in the F1 games these last few weeks, I mean, I'd be up there. I'm in Div 1 for God's sake, but I don't think I'll be that high up there. Because I haven't touched this game. I've been playing so much Forza Horizon 5, which, if you haven't touched that game, if you're a car nut, absolutely get Forza Horizon 5. It's a wonderful game. The map's amazing. Engine sounds, they're so much better from Horizon 4. Like, Horizon 4 is a good game, and I guess the map's fine if you're British, because it's... Oh, actually, no, if you're Scottish, because it's based in Scotland, but the game says it's Britain, but Edinburgh's the main city, so it's Scottish. It's like, what's a good comparison? There's an is there an F1 World Championship who's technically British, but is actually Welsh or Scottish? There's got to be more than... Jim Clark! He's Scottish, isn't he? Yeah, they call him British because he won a championship. But David Coulthard, they call Scottish because he didn't. Look, there's a lot of David Coulthard slander, but I think he did pretty good given what he had. And the fact that he finished second in, I think it was 2001, I think. You know, he was a good driver. He was one of the best to not win a world championship, in my opinion. And I can say peak Valtteri Bottas is about the same, if I'm going to be honest. He's a very, very decent driver there. Anyway, enough about driver talk. I'm not appearing online? I am appearing online. Unless it's like in Twitch settings? I reckon, because I didn't get the notification actually. Oh no, we do have the notification now. Okay, and I got an at mention. It is open. Yeah, thank you. Thank you to Div 3 guys for, it's been a lot, considering how messy these lobbies can be sometimes in terms of organisation and everything. So far, this has been handled really well. We've got about 12 cars ready to go. Yeah, we are joining off me. We are joining off me, the one and only spectator in the... well, I mean, I won't be the only one, because we'll be having someone else join us tonight. We'll be likely Pinju, although I suspect maybe someone else. I'm not sure. You know, plans change, things change, who knows. So, without further ado, we took a week's break last week. Anyway. We took a week's break last week. And I don't know, really just to probably give everyone a bit of a break from the game, because we've been at this game every week for a little while. And while I haven't been racing a lot myself, the break's definitely been much appreciated. As I've hurt one of my fingers, so, and you know, controllers, I'm a controller user, so racing's going to be a rather interesting endeavour. But to be fair, it's not like I was really fighting for anything either, other than maybe the positions outside the points, but... Because I actually have the Sebastian Vettel award this year. I've had like 3 finishes in P11 or something. But then again, Antonio Giovinazzi's had 3 P11 finishes in the last 3 races. So, gotta really feel for that guy actually, because that's unfortunate. The Alfa Romeos are actually decent in Mexico. The Mexican Grand Prix was okay. I remember I thought I was going to try pull an all-nighter for it, and I went at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I missed the West Ham Liverpool game. And I was disappointed about that because I didn't get any notifications on that. And I went to bed, woke up at 6 and found, oh, okay, race is, you know, only half an hour in. So I just watched the rest of it from like the 22nd lap. Just sort of winged it. So, I'm guessing he wants me to invite him and to the game as well. That's my guess, because I believe he'd be on. That's probably why. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Alright. Took me a while to get the memo there, mate, but I got it in the end. Rip. Who's Yo Debo? Oof. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, double check, yeah. He's readying up as well, so... Well, he hasn't let himself be established on here, so... Oh, I think he's left anyway. Yeah, he has. Never mind then. So, yeah. Portugal tonight, though. That should be fun. Yep, friends only, yeah. Purex has just said he'll do a couple laps on time trial and join. No. Yeah, look, yeah, I don't think a lot of us have had practice. And it's not going to be waiting for one driver. Yeah. I was worried because when I said it appear online, I thought, oh fuck, is the Twitch stream like appearing properly or something? I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. That's all good then. Vanguard Atomic Camo. Oh, people are already doing this. The game's not even been out for a week. People need a life, man. Here he is. He's Purex. Purex. Should I just say Perks from now on? I suspect I will. Yeah, Caden's ready it up. Well, if I check, we have one Ferrari driver not there. Yeah, Williams, Haas, and Ferrari all have absent seats. Oh, and Alpine. So Kirko is one. Oh, okay. Right. Alright. Oh yeah, because Greeny said he had some busy stuff. Yep. I suspect what we have here is what we're gonna get. Yep, no problem, mate. You're all good, mate.
Um, yeah. Nice. What has Chris said? That's a pretty big snack pack.
Jesus Christ. That thing's overloaded. Alright, like, everyone's readying up, so...
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, we're readying up. Well, I mean, obviously we are, but... Vamos! Yeah, it's going good, Vorno. Thank you for checking in.
Oh, Jack's here. Oh, great. Joking, love you, Jack.
His presence is always appreciated. Alright. Well, we've only got 6 readied up. One person's... my bird specifically is strobe lighting. He's just strobe lighting the ready button. Alright, anyway. 33 laps around here, jeez. Like, it feels like that'd be a long time, but I realise this track isn't quite as long as I thought it was.
Oh shit, I didn't spectate.
Yeah,
I probably should do that, eh? That's probably quite important.
Yeah, probably quite important, yeah.
Otherwise, you know,
well,
I might just have to do a cheeky lap and flex on them. Jokes.
Yeah, cheeky lap and just, yeah.
Off.
Well, with some of the field here, I reckon it'd be, most of us could set decent laps and they'd be pretty close to us.
Yeah, facts.
They'd be pretty close to us, because the top guys here are rapid. Name drop. But, anyway, just waiting for everyone to ready up. We should be good to get going, to be honest. I don't see anyone else joining.
No.
Actually, someone's left, actually.
Oh, sounds like a personal problem. Fuck off, stupid ad. No one likes you.
Twitch advert?
Yep.
Yeah, I hate how they're like permanent, like 30-second unskippable adverts too. Like they're actually worse than YouTube.
My audio's fine. Oh shoot.
Good stuff, yeah.
I'm gonna shoot. Don't upload this Pajala. I didn't realise that you could hear the ad. So I might get copyright some bullshit.
Nah, I mean, I only heard a
ad.
little bit.
Twitch ad,
Yeah.
so nah, still just be careful. My bad.
Nah, you're alright. I think you'll be alright, mate. Yeah, I only heard a little bit, so... If any, I don't even know what it was about. 7 out of 16 have readied up. Just waiting on everyone else to ready up. Which is a bit weird. Oh, these phones are no longer on sale. God damn it. Oh well. Oh no, anyway. Thank you. I don't have the privilege to be able to do that. I don't have permissions for that, so... I don't know why. But, not a big deal. So the countdown begins to start the qualifying. Should be interesting. Given I think this is a lot of people's first time around this track. In a race setting, if I was racing tonight, it would be mine. Because I haven't really, other than time trials and some 5-lappers, I actually don't have a lot of experience on here. And as a result, there's a certain corner on the track that always throws me off. It just feels a little inconsistent. Oh, it's cloudy too. That's interesting. Unless something in my settings had it to be like raining or something. I'm not sure though. But here we are. Q1 begins, and only one car would be. There's only 16 cars here tonight, so I suspect only one unlucky person will be out, unless there are accidents, you know, like crashes or disqualifications from flying across the track, because that can't happen on this track in particular. So I guess we'll just have to wait and watch and just see who comes out of pit lane first.
Well, it looks like it
In
might
particular,
rain.
this pit. Yeah, no, it looks like it. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's like 2020, the 2020 Portuguese Grand Prix in that.
Yep.
It's
So,
it's ominous.
yes, a quick recap of what was it, Monza? Like a
Yes,
fortnight ago.
Monza.
Big Dog,
Yeah,
Perks won, and that's about it. I don't remember anything
yeah.
else besides that.
Nah, I remember that was definitely a race in a bit. I think there was what 3 safety car periods or something. I don't know. It's the stream's there. I guess I can always go back and refer to it, but I know it's been a hectic 2 weeks, so I'm just not bothered to. But a minute has passed since the start of Q1, and we haven't seen anyone leave the garage yet, unless there's just a new bug and it's just like, huh, no, you can't leave the garage. Wouldn't put it past Codemasters to have somehow have that be an issue.
This is true after all. It is Codemasters.
It is indeed Codemasters. Yeah, they're. Yeah. Oh, hang on! I saw someone coming out. Someone's in first gear. You can actually tell who's leaving and who. Oh, I think we have 2 cars leaving, going by the fact we have some in neutral and some in first gear. Yes, we
One of
do.
them
We have
is
an AlphaTauri.
Brainer or Cubistic Flunky. One of
Yeah,
them's
it's
a Haas.
Oh.
Haas is the first
Well,
one
anyway.
out.
Oh, the Haas is the first one out.
And then
Right,
it's
I didn't see
Cubistic.
that. Even in this league, it doesn't get much airtime. I do apologize. I mean, those Haas's are no. Oh, he's already invalidated and has completely mounted that sausage curb. That's a dodgy curb, that one. I'd love to know how many people will. I mean, I don't want anyone to spin or anyone to end their accidents on spins or anything like that. It's never fun to have that sort of thing happen. But I suspect, given the nature of this track, that it might happen. We've got a Red Bull coming out of the pit lane. We actually have a McLaren who's spun. Actually, it's Fanatical who's spun. He's spun up there, up turn 4, I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. And McNeil's is coming out in the White Bull. We still have the White Bull livery. It was rumored that it would disappear after November 5 or whatever, but it's November 10, and it's still here. So I guess we get to see this wonderful livery for one last time, because it is really a stunning livery. But, the car to likely set the first time lap would be, where's the other AlphaTauri? It would be Flunky. We've got the other
He's
McLaren.
tier 2 driver, so he should be retiring. But
Yeah. We'll see. He might just dive into the pits afterwards, but we're on board with Flunky anyway. I'm a Bird's actually not far behind him. He started his lap as well, although he's invalidated. So I'm not. Either he still is invalidated or he's not. Goffey's just. He gets out of the way nicely though, but I'm a Bird cuts a bit too much of that chicane, and as a result, I believe his lap was already invalidated beforehand, but it's most certainly invalid now. Okay, so we've got an Alfa Romeo behind. It's JDM. He's starting his lap. Handles turn 1 really nicely, actually. Goes on the apex and heads out quite nicely. He's handled that whole charade of corners quite beautifully, actually. I reckon he's going to set... If his first sector is anything to go by, it's going to be quite a lovely lap. That's a very tight window there between getting it within track limits and not getting it in track limits. It's kind of weird, actually, that bit back there. But, you know, sadly it is what it is. Some of these track limits are a little weirder than others. Just, it's track dependent, I guess.
yeah.
So JDM. So we've got a Red Bull with McNeil's. He's about to fly around to start his first timed lap of the session. Got the RS open, 300 kilometers per hour. We have a McLaren Fanatical. Oh, the AlphaTauri. Has someone slowed down? I'm a Bird, I think, slowed way down. Fanatical's invalidated as well. Flunky. Does he set a time? I don't know, actually. Apparently he did. I actually have no idea. He crossed the line. We have a Haas crossing the line. We haven't had any timed laps yet, though, which is a little bizarre. Particularly 5 minutes into the session, but I guess everyone's just finding their ground.
Dr. JDM's going to come across the line for the first, okay,
Yeah.
18.6 top of the time sheets.
It's not too bad, not too bad. Hard to gauge of how competitive it will be, given with the lack of time so far, but I suspect going by his first sector that was a pretty good time.
Oh yeah, it's a decent time.
Yeah, I reckon that was similar as my time trial lap, admittedly, but I don't have a lot of experience on this track, so that's all signs pointing towards a decent lap. Goffey takes that line a little wide, but it's his timed lap actually. Oh, and he nearly loses it there on turn 8. Spinala corner. We have an Aston Martin. No, it's your boy here. Caden starts his first time lap. believe he does anyway. Red Bull coming up to the timeline. McNeil sets a 120.6, so 2 seconds behind JDM. Ain't No Kid's been disqualified for going the wrong way. How far is he off the... Oh, he's gone... Okay, so he must have had a big off moment or something. Purex sets the fastest slap of the session with a 1:18.1, which is quite rapid, actually, all things considered. 5/10 clear of the next time that's been set. And some better on the cut coming down the line. I'm a Bird sets a 1:21.1, which is... And then Goffey sets a 1:21.0. So we're seeing quite a wide variety of lap times set already, eh? I think JDM's going out for a second. Oh no, he's diving into the pits. We've got a McLaren though setting a time. He's invalidated again. His ERS is low. So now or never for Fanatical. His car's dirty from a previous incursion into the gravel. Sainz is out on track. He's starting his first time lap of the session. We have the Aston Martin. Oh, it's your boy here setting a time. Coming around the final corner now. His deploy's already been used up. You'd think that the game would realise that... how was the deploy used up already is beyond me. But anyway, he sets a 1:19.1 and puts himself into P3. Cut slightly off. I think we have Purex setting another time lap. No, he's diving straight to the
Dog's
pits.
gonna be the next one across the line.
We're gonna see what his time is. Unless the Red Bull behind him. McNeil's can improve. McNeil's dives straight to the pit lane. So Mad Dog is the next one to cross the line with a timed lap. Oh, hang on. Well, he sets a 1:44.5, so I suspect he had an off at some point. Because that's not competitive at all. But that was likely a warm-up lap based off of a minor mistake. I've done plenty of those. So I suspect there'll be more to come from him there. Urban Growth is behind his teammate in the Aston Martin. Got plenty of invalid laps here. The track limits are a little bit hard to. Track limit gods don't like what some of these guys are doing on this track. I mean, the track limits are a bit stuffed here, a bit fucked. If I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, some parts are better than others, but as I said before, some tracks are also better than others.
Yeah.
It's the track limits. Or Sainz spins, goes for a bit of a spin, heading out of turn 4. I'll just say it's turn 4. Or of some confidence. Evan Growth is crossing the line to set a time. Oh no, he's actually just starting a lap. Maybe he got a bit of a slipstream there to help him there. Flunky has slowed down. We have another Mercedes. Oh, we have Sainz in the wall again, and is taking out his front wing for good measure. That's very unfortunate from him. We have a Mercedes-Benz of Mad Dog, who's setting a proper time lap this time around. It's looking a bit more promising. Let's see what he sets. He sets a 1:19.692 to put him up into P4. Second clear of 5th, but 5/10 behind 3rd. So he's in a bit of no man's land there. I suspect he might be a bit comfortable with that lap time, actually, in Q1. Stroko is likely next to cross the line. Unless JDM improves. JDM's, I think, starting on a lap further down there. He's just passing turn 1 now.
Striker's gonna be the next one across the line. He's used to his deployment.
Yeah, unfortunately, at 60% too, which is a little weird. But anyway, he sets a 1:20.5. Fanatical crosses the line and sets a 1:18.2. Where did that come from? He was behind him. I didn't see him behind there. Cheeky little lap there. Very decent lap there from the two McLarens. So we have Urban Growth crossing the line. What does he set? He goes 4th fastest with a 1:19.0. So we're seeing some close lap times, and we're seeing some semi-close lap times, and we're seeing a distinctive clear gap from the McLarens so far, as the only competitor to the McLarens has been JDM, who's 4/10 down, but I believe he's setting on a lap in spite of traffic behind him. He's 2/10 up in Sector 2, which is quite impressive given the dirty air of the cars in front. But I suspect he might be using Armour Bird as a bit of a DRS tow. Hard to say, but we'll stay on board and figure out what's going on here. Fanatical retires from session, hopefully not from a crash. Although his car's moving on the mini-map, so I suspect he's avoided that. JDM does improve, but only by about 1/10.5, so he only goes up to about a 1:18.468, which gives him a 6/10 window from Urban Growth behind him, who hasn't improved in Sector 2. We've got another Ferrari, we've got Stroker Ace, heads down in Sector 2.
On a lap at the moment.
Where's Showtime? There he is. He's just finished the whole Sector 1 complex here. Mad Dog's stuck on the side of the road there, unless he's retired from session. I suspect not many people are setting laps because the one person that could already be out of the session is technically already out in Ain't No Kid, who got disqualified, likely beyond his control circumstances. Yeah. That's my guess. Goffey is retired from session, having set a 120. Oh, he's crashed actually, going by that. Didn't get to see that crash, unfortunately, but he had set a 121.005 before crashing out. We'll see what Showtime sets nonetheless. There's a parade of cars behind him. Tez Signs retires from session as well. So it's all happening here. A lot of cars retiring from session. Showtime's looking good here. He sets a 118.111 exactly and goes fastest on the time board. It's a very impressive lap there from Showtime, actually. Looked quite clean. Looked just smooth. Just a smooth lap from him there. Mad Dog, he still set his 119.5. So I don't know if he actually set a lap there, but going by this, he's actually... Oh, he's invalidated. That was like the tiniest of margins to invalidate your lap, but it happens. I'm a Bird had a second up in Sector 1, but invalidated. That's massively unfortunate. He was looking, of course, to set a very decent lap there.
Brain
So what's your observations?
Brain was invalidated his lap. Everyone kind of just been chilling. Like, there's not much people could do at the moment, really.
Yeah, no, there's not much going on. No, I think no one will be eliminated because the people who've retired
Facts.
have either crashed out or haven't set times or been disqualified. So you're pretty much good to go. This is just good test laps just to get familiar with the game and the track again. That's my guess. Kirex retires from session, having set the second fastest time. Evan Growth. So first to fifth all retired with their times. They are comfortable with their times. Even sixth has retired. I suspect they'll continue to do that unless they want to continue warming up the laying down rubber on the track. Completely up to them. So we're on board with Bremer right now, who's setting a timed lap and is doing alright so far. Let's see how he handles the infamous turn 8. Oh, he completely loses the back end. It's very easy to do that here, and he's going to go straight back down and likely get disqualified for, you know, because you can get disqualified on this part of the track pretty easily. So he's going to take it pretty carefully through here, unfortunately. Got Signs, McNeils is going off the track a little bit. I suspect he's setting another time lap, but not sure what he's doing, to be honest.
And he's spun, and he's in the wall.
Down. So Bremer is still going though. Very unfortunate there from Bremer, as he set a timed lap, but he's just stuck there on the track. His teammate in the other AlphaTauri also spins in sympathy, so that was very unfortunate there. That was a very weird spin, particularly up there, but again, this track will catch you out if you're not careful. So we're on board with McNeils again. We'll see if he does another lap. Considering he's crossed the line, I suspect he will try to do another lap to at least improve and get a better feel for the track at max pace. He heads down turn 3, handles that apex rather nicely, and starts to climb uphill. Goes a bit wide there, but handles that line really nicely, actually. Only 3 cars out on track with 3 minutes left. I suspect the field has settled. McNeils goes a 10th quicker in Sector 1. We'll see how the rest of his lap unfolds on board here. Do you want to continue the onboard commentary?
Who am I going on board with?
McNeils. Oh, he's invalidated his lap. Never mind. He's invalidated.
Well, he invalidated. Nearly lost it.
Yeah, he nearly lost it.
At least his car's not gone berserk. His internet seems to be alright. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon.
He spun?
No, his car started moving side to side like his internet was he was rubber banded.
Oh, lovely. Gotta love that. There we go. There's his number 50 White Bull livery. It really is a shame you can't just simply toggle between the liveries depending on what you want to drive. setting DRS. He's crossing the line again. He's going to start yet another lap.
Let's
I
go.
reckon he's
I'll
just
go on
gonna-
ball with him this time. Comes through turn 1, he's in 5th gear, so you want to be in 5th gear. Good extra rotation.
Looks like the second.
Yeah, second through that corner. He's running full traction, so that's why he can go flat out through that left-hander and not lose the rear end. Down into 2nd gear. Nice tight line through there. Very nicely done, actually.
Now he heads up through the dreaded part of Sector 2.
Yeah.
Up to the dreaded Turn 8.
Doesn't
Oh, he
spin.
handles that beautifully.
Well, he is on full traction, so it's not surprising.
Still, he could have handled that a little. It could have been a bit weird on entry.
Maybe.
6/10 up in Sector 2.
Yeah.
Looking to be pretty
It's gonna
good.
be P6, P7, just right. Coming through the second final corner. As his deployment used.
Just before the uphill section,
Yeah.
which is not ideal.
No, it's not. You lose a lot of time there. And he comes across the line and does a 19.9.
Not bad for you softs, not bad at all. He definitely, had his tyres not been out quite as worn, I reckon he could have done a bit more.
Yeah.
But, all things considered, he's definitely cemented a decent time there, and is one of 10 cars to have set a time. Actually, 11, my bad.
Yeah.
We've got an Alfa Romeo out on track, it's elongated. He's with 44 seconds left. I don't think he's actually going to make it, but we'll find out. We'll keep an eye on that, because I suspect he's going to set his one and only timed lap of Q1. Been a bit of a quiet Q1, all things considered. Do you think it'd be a bit more...
It really
do you
has.
think it'd be a bit more action filled?
Yeah.
I was thinking more spins. There's been some crashes, that's for sure, but I was expecting a bit more spins, if I'm going to be honest. He handles turn 8 rather nicely there on his outlap, actually.
Yeah.
We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, I'm not sure what for. But it's cleared up now, so I guess it's all good now. Guess we're all right there. The time for Q1 is finished, so if now he's going to miss, he's actually not going to set an outlap. But there are cars out there, I believe, who are setting timed laps. We'll find out. Yeah, Bremer is setting a timed lap. So Bremer is the only one out on track other than McNeils, who is currently going for timed laps, although McNeils is going on his really worn softs, and I suspect he's just doing race sims at this point. But we'll see what Bremer sets as he heads down the final corner, the sweeping right-hander, and then goes uphill with his deploy being used, which is not ideal, but it's just the way this game goes. And he sets a 1:18.2 to climb himself up into P4, which is quite impressive for a late lap,
Elong locked
quali
up
run.
into turn 3.
McNeils retires from session. Oh, Elongated did get there in time.
He did.
Alright, we're on board with Elongated then. We're going to see what he does. Was that who else retired from session now? I saw someone else did.
Mad Dog, Showtime is now.
Right. Yeah, so
Elongated.
both Mercs.
Took turn 8
We'll
very nicely.
Absolutely, yeah, and he's continuing to take the rest of this track pretty well. Actually, he's setting sectors that are not purple enough to implicate a decent lap there from him. And given it's been his one only timed lap, I reckon that's a pretty good job.
Yeah. It is.
So he does. He goes down that sweeping right-hander once again. Apparently it's going to rain, apparently.
Yeah.
The race will indeed rain. So
He goes to
it's gonna be particularly
P6 with an
interesting.
18.9.
That's a pretty good lap. First to 8th, all within about a second of each other. For reference, the gap from 8th to 11th is a further second back there.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting.
Bremer comes on the pits, so that'll be the end of Q1.
Stroker's still out there on track, so he's setting an improved lap. His deployment's already been used up before the hill, which is a bit weird. He improves, but not enough to get him up any places. He did a 1:20.4 there, I'm pretty sure. We'll check on the official timing board thing when the game wants to load it. Yeah, he did set a 1:20.4. So yeah, there we go. So it's Showtime, Purex, and Fanatical rounding out your top three. All Mercedes power. It's the cars are equal, so it doesn't matter. But it's still interesting to know nonetheless. And further rest down the field, you've got Bremer, JDM, Elongated, Urban Growth, it's your boy here, or Caden, as he's known as. Mad Dog, Mick Niels, I'm a Bird, Stroker Ace. And that's all of your timed drivers. The rest will include Tez Signs and Flunky, who had not set times. Flunky is a Div 2 driver. I believe Signs is a Div 2 driver too, isn't he? Is he?
Flunky's Teddy driver, I think. Oh, he might
Yeah,
be.
but what about Signs?
Signs is, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, the two guys who didn't set times were Div 2 drivers, and we had 2 retirements from that session. From Goffy, who crashed, and Ain't No Kid, who got disqualified for being in the wrong way, apparently.
The reason it's your boy, I call him Caden, is just because it's just his name. And it's just what I've been calling him, so that's kind of why I call him Caden, because it's just easier. Like, I don't think, when I look at him, I don't think of saying it's your boy, I just think of saying Caden.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fair enough. I just thought it was funny when you mentioned, was it last night or the night before, when like he was like, oh, he knows my name, but I don't know him. So it's just me saying his name, and he doesn't know who I am. So anyway, we're waiting for whoever else is needing to like confirm. We're still waiting on that, just so we can get into Q2. Not sure what's going on there, but anyone gonna give me a hot lap winky face? Alright, mate. Alright, well. Hang on, give me a sec. Yeah, we're just waiting. I'm not sure who we're waiting on. The game doesn't give us any indicators on who we're waiting on, which is a very Codemasters thing. As we see a Red Bull? I'm not sure who that was. There was a little car there going down the last... The left-hander before the back straight. The right-hander, sorry, before the back straight.
Let's see if they're saying anything in Discord. By the way, nobody cares. It's Ain't No Kid.
your fucking nickname, mate.
It's a great one. It's a great name.
And the profile picture too. What a meme.
It's because I'm a Red Bull reserve driver, not a league.
Oof. Okay, the Caden's hot lap boy. Yeah, we'll yeah, probably walked away for getting DQ'd. Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly as well. Never mind that you need everyone on board to be able to continue the session. What's my phone so bloody bright for? Hey, there we go. Into Q2 we go. Everyone on board. We've got 14 cars all ready to go for the 15 minutes of Q2. So we should get some more frantic laps in as people try to... unless it starts to rain. We don't know if it's actually going to start raining or not. But my guess is that it will in qualifying to get... probably just to throw people off.
Yeah, I'd say so. Maybe end of the session or maybe next session.
Yeah, pretty likely. We've got Fanatical on the medium tyre. And everyone else on the soft tyre. Oh no, McNeil's is on the medium tyre. Nah, 2 cars. Okay, Fanatical's are about to head out. And McNeil's. So we've got both medium runners eager to get back out onto the track. Set those times on the harder compounds just to get a feel for them. Don't think it matters too much given the race will be wet. But... oh, I mean, it might not be wet, we don't know. But the clouds imply that, yeah, the game wants it to rain. So, we'll find out, obviously. We've got the Red Bull out, we've got a Ferrari out. And we've also got a McLaren. We've got both McLarens out. So, 4 cars out. We've got a 5th car coming back out to join the parade. Yep, that's an Alfa Romeo in the distance, or is it a Haas? I mean, they're basically they're both Ferrari powered, so I'm not that wrong. No, it's a Haas. But there is an Alfa Romeo out on track, and we're on board with him right now. We can see him heading out of the pit exit. camera's quite nice actually, this camera view, except for all the heat haze, which would imply it's very like humid and soggy, which would be really. Oh, we've got a McLaren off track. Nearly lost it. He kept it on, kept it all together.
That was perks.
Yeah, perks. He could have caused a big crash there, but he kept it together and kept it off the track, out of incoming traffic. So that's quite courteous of him. Got Fanatical far ahead of anyone else, slowing way down. I suspect to get maybe heat in his tyres or something, maybe brakes. Sides is retired from session. He's on track, so I don't know why he's retired from session. Oh, I guess he's a Div 2 driver, so I guess he has to. There we go, he's crossing the line there, and he starts his timed lap. Let's go on board with him and figure out how he does his onboard laps.
Lap are we going on with?
Fanatical.
Okay.
Fanatical.
Big dog Taj.
Let's go.
Yes. So he runs a bit wide. Oh, that's actually a decent line for it. They're not gonna knock a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say he handled that really well actually. Yellow flag in sector 3. That's one of the Alfa Romeos. Got traffic up ahead. It's a Mercedes that's off track to conveniently stay out of the way. Done well there to keep out of Fanatical's way. Professional stuff there. Fanatical lets the rear loose a little heading down turn 8, but otherwise composes himself quite nicely. And I'm trying to speak like in cohesive sentences, but I've got gas and I'm trying to like not burp while I'm talking, which is not great. I can say that much. Let's see, he's hanging down these last 2 corners now. It's looking pretty promising.
It looked like a good lap.
Just have to wait and see as he heads down the last right-hander. Goes downhill, deploy's been used up as he goes the uphill part of the track. He sets a 1:18.5 on the mediums. That's very impressive if you ask me. We have another Mercedes behind him starting his outlap. The McLaren of the Fanatical has slowed down. Is kept out of the way of Mad Dog, returning the favour there. We have the Red Bull of McNeil's who set a 1:20.2. So he's got some way to go to catch up to Fanatical on the same compound. Stroker Race behind him on the soft tyre sets a 1:20.3. So Stroker Race has also got some work to do to try catch up to the medium runners. As I'm a Bird sets a 1:26.1, and I suspect he had an incursion off the track that has likely caused the pace deficit. And he's back out there. He's not pondering that lap. He's going back out there and he's setting another one. It's gone very wide into turn 3 though, so could be a bit messy there. See what his sector 1 time is actually. It's gonna be rather interesting. He's down by a 1/10. So unless his first sector did look alright. So unless he had an off or something or a slight spin, the back end gave out at turn 8 or something.
Bremer's on the intermediates.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's on the inters, alright. That's AlphaTauri strategy. Kicking in once again, except it's the strategists don't choose the tyres in this game. It's the drivers themselves, players themselves. JDM sets the fastest lap on a 1:18.0 on softs, and didn't get out of the way there of Elongated. Elongated and him actually get really close actually. That's not very professional given Elongated is on a timed lap, but he's invalidated. Maybe from a result of the near miss there. Not ideal whatsoever. We've got yellow flags in every sector apparently. It's your boy here, or Caden, sorry, is setting a lap. He's going through sector 2. He's about to climb up turn 8 now. Let's see how he handles the rear. No, he loses it a little bit, but keeps it within track limits. That's pretty good there. We've got more timed laps here. I'm a Bird improves his lap time quite notably and sets a 1:19.7. Mad Dog has a 1:20.0 flat and improves in sector 2. We have a Red Bull going into the pit lane. We have an Alfa Romeo behind him.
Spun.
Fanatical has spun, has he? He's spun in... Oh, yeah, I see where he spun. Oh, okay, game's being weird. Alright, so Elongated did set an invalid lap, so he's now got to go back out there. Fortunately, he's on the medium tyre, so he does have the luxury of being able to go out there. Bremer is setting a time lap on the inters, of all things. I commend your bravery, but I don't quite know if that's going to work. Yeah, look how wide he's going into turn 3. So I see another car cross the line to set a time. It was Urban Growth of the 1:19.1, so that was a very good lap there. Mad Dog improves up by 7/10 of a second to go into 4th with a 1:19.2. So it's very close here actually between 3rd, 4th and 5th. Bremer is, he's set the slowest first sector of the lot on these inters. So this is quite interesting, seeing this guy set his lap on the inters.
Perks is about to start his lap.
Alright, let's go on board with him then. Let's go on board. You commentate the lap. We'll see what he does here.
So his open DRS flying down the front straight. The McLaren livery looks really nice. Down into 6th gear because he runs automatic on the wheel. bit bitch. No gap.
Bit weird, but
yeah,
we don't judge.
I do. I judge him harshly for it. As he's coming down the hill into sector 1, he's done a 22.2 for the first sector. Pretty decent first sector. She's coming up for turn 6, for turn 7 and 8, or a bit of a lift. It's down to 3rd, careful on the throttle, runs right wide, do not spin, very nicely done. Down the hill, back up the hill, the more or less blind corner, more or less. A bit iffy on the exit. So he's coming through turn, I think we're up to like 11, 12 now. Nice exit through there. On the numbered corner. On the exit, he's banging the car, running out of deployment. Just coming up the hill. It's gonna be a good lap. It's gonna go top of the time sheet.
1:17.7.
Very good lap from Perks.
That's rapid.
It is rapid.
Caden also set a 1:18.8 as well.
Big dog Caden
that lap
up
looked
there.
pretty good. Yeah, and yeah, so he's up there in P4. But Perks here is just setting a 1:17.7 is mad impressive.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, like I say, that's an excellent lap there. JDM's 3/10 down from him, and that was a very good lap too. I think McNeil's has just crossed the line. It's the start of our time lap. There's a McLaren and an Alpha there, giving way. Yeah, he's setting another time lap, but this time on the soft tires. He wants to get into Q3, and yeah, he's worried his time might not be enough. Let's see what he sets, and see how he does this lap. He's a 10th up in Sector 1, so that's a good start. Shifts down quite nicely, heads out of that turn. I don't know what turn it's called. It's a turn. It is what it is. Had Fanatical there with the yellow flags there before. Bit weird, but it is what it is. See how McNeil's handles turn 8. No sign of instability there from the rear, so that was rather nice to watch. Got a Mercedes crossing the line. It was Showtime with a 1:18.810. So just ahead of Caden, actually. Just ahead. Very close lap time there. As McNeil's goes 8/10 quicker in Sector 2. So that's impressive. It's looking to be very good from him. Put him into that 1:19 bracket. Or, even better, put him in the 1:18 bracket. The high 1:18 bracket.
Elongated's about to start his lap.
Yeah, he's just behind McNeil's. He's about to finish his time lap. He sets a 1:19.204, which is good enough for P7. So yeah, the gap there between 6th, 7th, and 8th is all within about a 10th of each other. So we're all super close between each other. So that's very impressive to watch. It's always fun to see those guys get very close to each other with their quality margins. We've got Elongated on board now. Well, not on board, but we're watching him. And McNeil's has spun. But he's not damaged his car, and he's got it back on track without any problems. So that's good, all things considered. He sets what his Sector 2 is. It'll be hard to say because he hasn't set a lap prior. But again, this lap so far, going by this camera view and all the shots we've seen, it looks pretty good actually. Looks like his Q1 lap time was good enough.
We're watching Elon.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this lap looks pretty good. Scott, just say whoever it was. I'm not paying attention to chat, so just say it again, and I'll think about doing it.
Elongated crosses the line and sets a 1:18.6.
Yeah, it goes P4. It's pretty good. I've got Bramer on a lap at the moment. He's about to finish this lap. Just gonna put him right up there. 17.94.
Bremer P2. Wow. Out of nowhere.
That
That's
is
very
out of
impressive
nowhere.
there from Bremer. Got a McLaren behind him, and it's fanatical. He's just started another time lap, although he's easing up the oh jeez, my throat. The accelerator. So it's not out there to set a competitive lap, although it looks like his tires are quite badly damaged. Oh no, he's going way off. He's gonna just crash. Oh, well that was a little weird, but
Oh,
you know, I guess it is what it is. Oh, he's actually straight up retired from session.
nice.
With a time good enough for P4, so he's confident enough in his lap time. He's decided to abort the medium tyre run, second one of the session, in favour of just playing it safe with his times. Which, to be fair, his time is very competitive, so he has the luxury of being able to do that.
Yeah.
And
He
one
doesn't
setting
need to
time
set
struck
another.
race.
He'll get a free. He doesn't need to set another time.
Yeah, he'll get through. What's interesting though is that the battle here for 8th to 12th is quite close actually. Stroke Race is a little far behind, but he's just about to start another timed lap. He's number 13 Ferrari. I've grown really fond of that Ferrari livery. Caden's retired from session. I don't know where on the track he's retired, but I suspect he's retired in pit lane. But yeah, I've grown really fond of that Ferrari livery. It looks just, I don't know. The burnt red bit still doesn't appeal to me, but if the whole car was this burnt red, then yeah, maybe. But the black red, I
don't know.
like.
It's a bit odd.
Bremer, I think he's... Oh no, he's diving straight into pit lane.
Elong's on
Got
another
the Alfa
lap.
Romeo behind him, which is JDM. I reckon he's invalidated though. So JDM might go out for another run. Hard to say. We'll see what he does. Well, given he's crossed the start-finish lineup, my guess is he absolutely has. Got cars behind him, including the Aston Martin of Urban Growth and the Mercedes of It's Showtime. Or it was It's Showtime, but now just Showtime. And all those guys are starting more timed laps. We have the Alfa Romeo of Elongated next across the line with Purex, or Perks, as I should start calling him, about to start his proper timed lap. So Elongated is up in Sector 2, so this bodes well for him actually. He could get even closer to the top 4 right now as it stands. We'll see what he does. He sets a 1:18.5 and improves, but by not enough to get into P4. As Purex starts his first time, he's not his first time lap, but another timed lap. We've got more cars coming up behind him. Mad Dog improves. Sets a 1:19.0 flat, which just gives him a bit more of a window, a bit more comfort from the cars behind him.
Yeah.
Because he's
He'll need
close
to
to being
improve
eliminated.
again, though.
Yeah. Or maybe. It's hard to say, because we've got Urban Growth behind him who's invalidated, but we'll definitely set another lap.
McNeil's is on an out lap.
On an out lap right now. And he made a
No,
massive
he's
jump. He's
Going
diving
in
straight into the pits.
Okay.
So Aston Martin of Urban Growth behind him is getting ready either to dive into the pit lane or to start his
So the
final
only
lap
one
of the
that can
session.
knock McNeil's out is Striker. He's the only one that can improve because I'm Bird still in the pits.
And he's down in Sector 2.
Yeah.
He's down by under a 10th, but he's still down. Not something you need when it comes to setting your timed lap. He might have room to improve here, but we'll have to find out. Oh no, he's 2/10 up. Okay, that was probably Sector 1 he was down on. Okay, so he's down by 10th in Sector 1, but improved by 2/10, which still won't be enough, unfortunately. But we will see, and we will eagerly await to see what he can do with his times. Purex goes even quicker. Wow, 1:17.4.
Jesus.
Half a second clear.
It's very good.
Of second place. That's ridiculous. Elongated is out there on track. Let's see what Striker can do. Striker only... Oh, he's actually slower. So it wasn't enough to even improve. So he's out. So McNeil's is safe.
Wait, no, we had the
Evan
timing
Growth is 6/10
glitch.
up. Do have the timing
I
glitch, do we?
believe. I believe.
For fuck's
Actually,
sake.
no, we might not.
We've got Overgrowth doing a proper lap still. Nah, looks okay actually. Except for Purex, but... Urban Growth goes up to P5 with a 1:18.273. Good enough. A very good lap there. Good enough to keep him in Q3. Solidify his place and a chance to get pole position later on. So, still got a few cars out. Mad Dog just has the best time. I don't know if he's actually setting a lap or if he's AI. Oh, hard to say. Find out. No, Mad Dog's finished, so never mind. After all that, never mind. Salty's joined for some reason. Well, I guess he's a Div 3 driver,
He
but
said
he's
he
joined
wouldn't.
quite
He
late.
said he wouldn't be joining till later. I think.
Yeah, that's fair enough then. There you go. Fuck. Anyway, so that's Q2, everyone. Q2 is done and dusted, and now we're on to Q3 to settle the final positions for the top 10. As it stands, Pirex set the fastest lap with a 1:17.498. Behind him was Bremer with a 1:17.9, and then beyond that was JDM, Fanatical, Urban Growth, Elongated, Showtime, It's a Boy Here, Mad Dog, and McNeils. Those are your top 10. Those who did not make it in were I'm a Bird, Stroke Race, Tez Science, and Flunky. But the latter two, 13th and 14th, are Div 2 drivers and therefore cannot set times. So that's how it stands. The top 10 should be very interesting, all things
I
considered.
reckon Perks will get pole.
I wouldn't discount Fanatical. I wouldn't discount him at all.
Nah, Taj
I
will
reckon
be
it's going to be between... Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. It'll be between the two McLarens. That's one thing I know.
Yeah.
Those McLarens are just fast.
Alrighty. On to Q3.
We have a Yano hot lap for McNeils, which I believe we already did the McNeils. So I believe we already went through on lap with McNeils.
We can
But,
do it again if he's on, it's fine.
also, Scott claims that he did a ride-along, but I did not see that in chat.
Yeah, I told you to redo the name, but you weren't listening. You
Yeah,
goose. Yeah, I was trying to think of a non-swear word to say. Took me a minute. Just type it again, and we'll do it. If not, stop complaining, Scott. Alright? Far out, man.
Yeah, far out, Scott.
No one
Jeez,
likes
mate.
you. Just as bad as Relic sometimes.
Oh. Hey now.
That's gonna piss him off.
Fuck.
FFF Andy needs to leave. Oh, for flying.
Who's Andy?
Someone I'm gonna
Who's
tell to
that?
get lost.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't even know who he is, so, yeah, fair.
Tell me if he leaves.
I'll let you know. Fanatical is first out on track. Actually, could have been the Mercedes that first out on track, actually. Yeah, he's left the session.
Good lad.
So that's that crisis averted. With more cars getting ready to leave the track. Fanatical is first out. We just saw the second of the Mercedes. So we have the two Mercedes in here.
Yep, it's a Fanatical straight away, so this will be interesting.
Always first out Fanatical. Always keen to get track position, it seems. I don't know how he avoided invalidating his outlap there, but he somehow managed to keep it within track limits, despite blatantly not. That's just F1 2021 for you, though.
Yeah. Salty is like, just go away, Baxter. No. We'll break the lobby.
McNeil's in the chat. How the fuck did I make it through? You said a good time, mate. Simple as that. We're on board with... all but two cars are out, actually, on their outlaps. So one would assume this would naturally be, if this was Q1 and 18 or 20 cars were out, this would be a very crowded track right about now. But given it's Q3, no, it's quite airy. It's quite, you know, you'd probably set a picnic or something in some parts of the track and no one would come by for another minute or so. So we're on board with Fanatical now, who's setting the first time lap, as I realise the telemetry and all the important bits and bobs that everyone likes to watch are missing because Codemasters can't code properly, contrary to their name. Mad Dog has invalidated his lap in the first two corners. Elongated has also invalidated his outlap, but JDM has kept it within track limits. Fanatical has also invalidated his outlap, so JDM's the first one to cross the line. Well, first one will be the first one to cross the line, provided with a timed lap, provided he can keep within track limits in these next two sectors.
Yeah, it's looking like a decent lap from JDM at the moment.
Yeah, he's set some very good laps all qualifying sessions so far, but it hasn't been quite enough to get him up into the front row. We'll see if he can change his fortune with that in this qualifying session, but we're yet to find out. But so far, all signs are pointing to a very decent lap being set as he goes down this amazing roller coaster ride segment of a track.
Yeah, it is quite
Set at
nice.
52.5 in the middle sector. Oh, he's gone way too wide going into that. Oh no, he's just lagging. Or could it be our stream? No, going by our streams in good order. I suspect, yeah, he's lagging.
Yeah.
So that's fun. That's always fun. Still, nonetheless, he's about to set the first time lap of the session. Goes across the line to set a 1:18.0 flat. Talk about consistency.
That's a good
there.
lad.
Very consistent lap there. Showtime isn't too far behind him and will not beat him. He's at 1:21.1, which is uncharacteristically slow given his first two qualifying sessions. That's very weird. That the elongated isn't far behind him. He invalidated though, but it was good enough to be ahead of Showtime. Had it not invalidated, got Aston Martin of Urban Growth behind. Sets a 1:18.450, 4/10 behind JDM. Pretty decent lap there, all things considered. We've got the second Aston Martin of Caden about to start his timed lap. We've got Purex is invalidated. We've got the sole Red Bull of McNeil's who's also setting a timed lap. Let's see what he can do. It's easing off for some reason. He's going to set a 1:19.6. Had he not eased off there, I reckon he would have gone about a tenth and a bit quicker. Very bizarre there. What happened there? Fanatical takes that. He hugs the inside line there a bit too much and almost goes off the track. Nonetheless, he is charging onto the main straight to set a timed lap. We'll see what he sets. It's looking very good actually. He sets a 1:17.3. So that's a solid 7/10 ahead of JDM in second place, who set a very respectable lap on his own terms. Mad Dog crosses the line to set a 1:19.5. Wow.
Perks is on a lap at the moment.
Perks is on the lap, but Showtime sets a 1:18.3 to take himself into P3. So the front row as it stands is Fanatical and JDM. Fanatical has gone off track, and we've got Aston Martin's behind, and then we've got Perks in the McLaren. We're eagerly awaiting because those two, again, the two McLarens, trading fastest laps all session long. So it should be very interesting to watch. Let's see what Caden can set. It's looking okay. It's not look like it's going to beat, or maybe it will. No, he sets a 1:18.6. It's not quite good enough to get him up into the front row or the second row, but good enough for P5. Purex crosses the line and sets a 1:18.3, second down from his teammate. Given he set the 1:17.4 before, there's definitely more room for improvement from him. And he's invalidated his lap going into that corner there, which is
Unless he
very
was running scrub tyres.
Yeah, I reckon there's a likelihood that he's doing that. We won't be able to confirm that, or maybe we can. 2 laps. So yes? Hard to say.
Yeah.
But the two McLarens... Oh shit, I'm yawning. The two McLarens have set timed laps on worn tyres, so Fanatical's lap on 2 lap old softs is even more impressive. We're waiting for Bremer. Bremer's the only one who hasn't set a timed lap in this session, but everyone else as it stands has been reasonably competitive with each other. Fanatical though has just sailed away, but beyond that it's pretty close. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's looking good. I think there'll be more coming from the likes of Perks and Showtime, and JDM's retired.
Yeah.
Caden
Caden's
improves by
at
6 tenths.
1:18.0.
Yeah, I
Yep,
reckon
so
we'll
he's now up on
see
the front row.
more from Showtime and Perks. I reckon they'll challenge Fanatical for the top.
Yeah, absolutely. Mad Dog is slower in Sector 1 by about a tenth of a second. See what his Sector 2 time is as he's out there continuing. He's up by a second, so he's negated that loss and is effectively even on his lap time. So what matters now is how well he does these next few corners, sets his car up. Looking pretty good so far. He's going to set in the high 118s. No, he's going to improve by 2 tenths. I was completely wrong there with my prediction, but he's good enough for a 1:19.368. which is good enough for P8. Bremer is out on his outlap, so we're going to see him idling along in 7th gear. Maybe he's gone for a really low fuel run or something. Hard to say. JDM has retired with a 1:18.0 as said prior, and he felt like that he couldn't improve from that time, which is fair enough, I guess. It's decent lap time as it is. Perks was on scrubs apparently, so it is confirmed that the two McLarens are running scrubs.
Elong spun a bit.
Lost the rear a little.
Yeah.
On an outlap, thankfully.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Bremer is starting his time lap. Fanatical is back out on an outlap. We're on board with Bremer, who nearly loses it there. Loses the back end, and quite a finicky back end there. Oh, he nearly loses it again. That's a very twitchy rear end there. The fun fact, the ATO2, the 2021 AlphaTauri car, uses Red Bull suspension from the 2019 RB15. I found out. So, kind of weird, but you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. They're happy developing the car around that suspension setup in the real world, and it's clearly worked out for them with Pierre Gasly's 2 4th-place finishes in Zandvoort and in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Bremer's had a very, very shaky lap though. Hasn't had the rear instability that the real world car often has, but he looks pretty quick still nonetheless. He's going to set a 1:18.393 and get himself up onto the 3rd row of the grid. Then I'll go on board with Perks. PT nerd. yeah, I mean, Toro Rosso is one of my favourite, he's probably my favourite F1 team. AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso, Minardi.
They're the
well,
same
not quite
thing.
Minardi, but
All the same thing
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
yeah, that team I've had a massive admiration for, even though they're just baby Red Bull. That's something I still like about them.
Perks is 2 and a bit tense up at the moment.
Yeah, on sector 1, so that's a good start. Good start for his lap. The car looks very planted going through the part of that track there, which is unlike Bremer.
It's a bit unsettled though. He's getting on the power a bit too early maybe. The rear end's a bit, just looks a bit iffy.
That was wonderful out of turn 8 there from Perks.
It was.
See what else he can do in this lap. He's got an AlphaTauri in front of him for traffic. That is the sole AlphaTauri of Bremer, actually. Mad Dog has retired from session, having set the 8th fastest time of 1:18.439. Given the car behind him in 9th. The Elongated is also disqualified from session for going the wrong way. He's actually spun at turn 8 and has taken the roller coaster route down the track, so unfortunately his qualifying run is finished. It's very unfortunate from him there. Let's go back on board with Perks, because he's looking like the setter ripper of a lap time. Let's see what he sets. He sets a 1:17.5. So it's a McLaren front row lockout. Got a Red Bull behind. McNeil's, who goes 3/10 quicker. But it looks like he'd validate his lap time. No, he set a 1:19.6 before, so no, he has improved, but not quite enough to get anywhere close to the top 8. Mercedes behind him off Showtime, starting a timed lap. I think he just got in time, or not. That's weird. It's glitched, I think. No. Okay, so as it stands, I believe this is the time lapse, and we're not going to see much difference unless the game's just completely bugged out. Yeah. Yeah, the DSQ wrong way. Yeah, the game's really harsh with that. Not me personally, I hope it didn't come off as judgmental, but the game, this track in particular is quite nasty when it comes to off-track incursions. You can just fly off the track and get disqualified or a penalty, and it's not fun. It's not fun, as I found out doing casual 5-lappers. Just even ruins the momentum there. So I'm not sure what's happening here. It says 1 minute 40 left time remaining with 0 seconds, meaning this should be it. But we're seeing cars move around under their own power, under their own, like, you know, their own guys. So Fanatical did improve, but has spun in turn 8. He could have easily got disqualified there, and therefore handed the pole to his teammate. Caden crosses the line, or had crossed the line. Okay, now it's catching up. The game's slowly catching up with everyone. More cars have crossed the line, apparently. Find out. What track is this? It is Portimao in Portugal. So, home of the Portuguese Grand Prix from 2020 to 2021. I think this game is glitched. Never mind. So our pole sitter is Fanatical. Congratulations to Fanatical for setting that very impressive lap time. It is a McLaren front row lockout for the Portuguese Div 3 race. Sponsored by Sully's. Josh, you can do the jingle if you wish. Anyway, so those are your times there. Fanatical set the fastest time with a 1:17.3. His teammate Perks behind him with a 1:17.5. Showtime impressively showing up in P3 with a 1:17.8. And that's it for the 1:17 time bracket. From there onwards, it's 1:18 until McNeil's. So there's as it stands. So top 10 for your race, for the Portuguese race, is Fanatical, Perks, Showtime, Mitsuboy here, JDM, Urban Growth, Bremer, Mad Dog, McNeil's, and Elongated, who was unfortunately disqualified because this track is weird, and this game is weird with track limits, and you know, if you happen to do an evil thing like spin. Oh, it's raining. There you go. It is actually properly raining. So this is going to be so basically, yeah, your setup's a null here. The wet weather here will be quite interesting because this track already does feel like you're skating along it at the best of times. In the wet, I cannot fathom how tricky it will be to drive. And I will let you guys know that there is no formation lap. I believe someone started early. We should have probably waited a little longer just to get everyone's setups in accordance and strategies all up there. But basically, this is going to be a Wild West. All that speed and all that precision through the corners is going to be up to just whoever can survive these first few laps on cold intermediate tires, or full wets, depending on how wet the track actually is. So we're about to find out just how. We're just about to find out. Five lights go out, and off we go. It's a very skittish start from everyone on board. Some cars started better than others. We've got a Haas already spinning off into the wall. I'm a Bird has retired from session. There's been chaos further back of field. I'm a Bird has crashed out. We have a safety car in lap 1. So first lap safety car from the start there. That was absolute chaos. Got severe penalty warnings already.
Sorry, I was just in the middle of a phone call.
No, you're right, mate. You're right, mate.
Perks has dropped some positions. It's not good.
Yeah, Perks has dropped some positions. He's dropped out from the front row down to P5 after a horrid start. I'm a Bird's already DNF'd from the race. In very unfortunate circumstances, putting too much power onto the car or got tagged. Hard to say from that camera angle. But unfortunately, it's left in his retirement from the race. We're seeing more severe collisions further back of field between everyone, though. Oh, that looked kind of nasty there. I don't know what's going on there. We're seeing a lot. Oh, Goffey's without a front wing. We've got predicted stop strategy. Tires, intermediates, wets, or disqualification, apparently. I don't know what the disqualification compound is, but I get the feeling it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch of pain. You know, not ideal. Is it not a safety car glitch? No, someone crashed into the wall. I saw that. We all saw that on the stream. So first lap under a safety car. Unfortunate, but this happens sometimes, particularly in treacherous conditions like these, where we're likely to be on the crossover between inters and full wets. It does kind of give off that vibe, to be honest, going off all the puddles that have accumulated on the track and off the track surface. But we're on board with Goffey here, who's missing a front wing. Doesn't quite look right. We've got other cars behind him crossing in. We'll see if there's any other damage on any other cars. We see Flunky is with front wing damage. I suspect he probably hit the rear of I'm a Bird as he was starting. Probably got a rocket start there and then just got hit or ran into him maybe as he was spinning off. As he goes into pit lane, we've got 3 cars in pit lane. For some reason, it's Caden is pitting. I believe he's on full wets. Hard to say, actually. Very hard to say. As Codemaster, as I've forgotten to enable all the important bits. He is on full wets. I think he's served. Why has he just gone through the track? Why has he just done that? That's weird. So he's out. He's on full wets. I don't think he's changed to full wets. We can have a look. No. Oh, hang on. He's on fresh wets. So he's swapped to the wet tire. He suspects it's getting worse. We've got a couple of cars with 5-second penalties. Apparently we're not allowed to show you that, but you know, I don't give a shit, so it's there. Too bad. If people are watching, you know, Div 3 drivers will be watching the stream and it's like, oh, if that's a problem, then they can just see the cars in front of them have got the penalties. It's like, well, what's the worry? But anyway, whatever. Didn't let you pick a car. That's very unfortunate. The game still has its weird, annoying little bugs here and there. It's annoying the hell out of me with just the random crap that goes wrong. Even what? We're in November now. Shit, we're in November. Jesus. Even in November, what? Something like 5 months after the game's come out, it's still white and then covered in mess. Fanatical wants the safety car to move quicker. Goffey has another time penalty. He's actually going off-roading. He's testing the Rally GT program for Alpine. In the Alpine A110 RGT. Fun fact, that's an actual Rally GT car. Rally GT is a very obscure rally category though, because, I mean, rallying isn't terribly popular compared to F1, so who would care about GT spec cars going off-road for rallying? So, it's been a very interesting start, I'll give you that. You've climbed up, holy crap. Science has been the biggest mover. Check the position change board actually. Does it show you that? Oh, hang on, yeah, we've got Gat to leader, to be honest. Yeah, you've gained it. We've had a couple of big moves and shakers here. Had Ain't No Kid gained 5 places since the start, along with Signs. Mad Dog's gained 3 places. Evan Growth's gained 3 places. And biggest loser so far, beyond his circumstances, from the pit stop, has been Caden. And I don't mean the biggest loser in a derogatory way. I mean that in the like the TV show from mid-2000s. I suspect given I'm 22, turning 23, quite a few people probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm getting all... Oh, there you go. Science sets 8/10 quicker in his first sector. But you know what? There's pace behind the safety car. It's absolutely happening now. We're showing gaps from leader back, so...
There's something wrong with my headphones. It's making a fucking, no static sound. So I'm gonna just hop off for a minute and try fix it. And
Is it mine, maybe?
Nah, it's not, because I paused the party and then I hit my Spotify to play and it was doing it with my Spotify as well. So yours might be doing it as well. Maybe I don't know. That's what my headphones are doing at the moment. So I'm gonna try fix it.
Just take my mic off there. Alright, I'm back. Safety car is in this lap, so that's good.
Yeah, I can still hear it. I think it's my headphones because you sound fine on the stream. Alright, I'm going to turn my Xbox off, turn my controller off. My batteries are going to die anyway, so I'll see.
Alright, so you're going to head off then?
Yeah, I'll probably just head off because my rechargeables are like, I don't know what's happened. I woke up one morning and they just died. Like, they don't hold a charge anymore. Like, I put them in the controller. I can go to school all day, right? Like, I had them fully charged this morning. They were dead when I got home.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So I'm gonna head off. I'll get near rechargeables, whatnot, try to sort my headphones out, and yeah.
All right, no problem.
Good luck for the rest
Thanks
of the race.
for being on board anyway.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Good luck with the rest of the stream.
All right, thanks. I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
All right, we're back on board. We're starting the race again. Lap 4 of 33. Fanatical sails away from the rest of the pack. He is 5/10 in front. We're seeing a lot of cars further back get alongside each other and get nice and acquainted with each other, which is quite a risky proposition in these wet conditions. Also quite a risky proposition in lockdown, as Science makes an optimistic pass up McNeil's and actually gets past like 2 cars. So that's kind of mad there. He's just sailing the way through the field as we have a Mercedes that's spun off the track and he's just reversed back onto the track. Wow, that was very risky there. Did McGoffey suffer any damage as a result of that? I don't know if he did or not, but that was a very risky rejoin there. As Stroll once quoted, he's just come back on the circuit like an idiot. And then Stroll proceeded to show him. I mean, obviously, you know, what are you going to do up there? But, geez, that could have been a lot worse. Okay, so the audio's fine now. So it was, unfortunately, Josh's audio or his mic. It's very unfortunate. It's always good having him on with us, having him on commentating. Fanatical sits the fastest middle sector of the race, and he's cruising away. Well, I say that, but Showtime and Perks behind him are keeping him honest, as JDM has accumulated another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and my guess is that is from track limit violations. Which, on the best of days, like in qualifying, they're hard to get used to if you're not familiar with them on this track. In the wet, it just becomes infinitely worse. So Fanatical sets the fastest lap of the race, but Showtime has actually gained on him. So it's absolutely not over yet. We've got cars, we've got JDM diving into the pit lane there. I'm not sure if he's swapping to another tyre compound. We're going to go on board and see what he does with his pit stop. See if the Alfa Romeo crew, we've actually got the Ferrari behind it too. Sainz has accumulated a 3-second time penalty, so Stroke Race and JDM have both pitted. The sister cars, he's swapped tyres, he's gone onto the inters. He's got another set of inters, maybe. Oh, he's serving a penalty, maybe. Oh, and he's replacing his front wing. Okay, makes sense. He's got some small front wing damage. Oh, McLaren there of Pyrex nearly lost it there, but he's kept it all together and he's kept third place, but Bremer is hovering right behind him. Only 4/10 down. And so, as it stands, there's actually quite a big gap between the first 6 cars and then the next 4. Kind of like actual F1, actually. You know, the top 6 are always pretty close, or top 4. You know, before 2019, the top 6 were always pretty close. Goffey has accumulated another 3-second penalty. Very unfortunate there from him. I suspect that was probably just from going slightly wide. See, I don't assume malice when it comes to track limit penalties, because they're so touch and go in this game. And so I sympathise with anyone who is just having a bad day with penalties, because it's just, sometimes you just have off days on these games, and you know what, as it turns out, that's completely fine to have an off day when you're playing a game. Games are escapes, and that's what it is. That's how it is. Fanatical sets the fastest lap once again, a 1:29.8. That's pretty quick, given the condition on the track right now. We've got a yellow flag further down the field. It's Caden. He's spun. Don't know how he spun out there. I'd love to see. I'd love to have known what happened there, but unfortunately, he's now down in P13. And he's just getting his car back together. He's on the full wets too. He's the only runner on the full wet tyre, I'm pretty sure. So either he's going to go a bit ballsy there. Fanatical goes even quicker in Sector 1. But again, it's very competitive behind him, as the top 3 are within about 2.5 seconds behind. Bremer is also quite close behind Pyrex, and the 2 Red Bulls in 5th and 6th are comfortably just sort of waiting in the wings for any of the top 4 to make a mistake. Given these track conditions, it's all likely to happen. You just don't know what's going to happen. This Flunky has made it a very impressive move to start from the back of the grid up to P8. So he's, unfortunately, given his Div 2, he's going to have to retire. But such a drive cannot go unrewarded. He's done very well. 6 laps in, he's composed himself quite nicely. Hasn't damaged any car as far as I can tell. He's just kept on the track. He's half a second up in Sector 2 as well, so that's looking pretty good. Further down the field, any movement? We're not seeing much movement, but we are seeing a big gap behind from the 2 who've just done their pit stops. I suspect they're waiting for a safety car. They are going to be praying for a safety car. Don't pray. Religion works. Doesn't work. Fanatical sets an even quicker time there. 1:29.1. So he's just going even quicker. He's sailing away, actually. He's 1.3 seconds in front. He's probably violated the track limits there, though. Purex has a 3-second time penalty for track warning. For track limit violations is my guess, because yeah, that bit's a bit fucked. But it is what it is, unfortunately. I don't suspect we're going to be seeing a lot of overtake this race, unfortunately, given the nature of the track in its current state. We'll just see what happens. Elongated. Ooh, the back end went out there. Goffey has yet another 3-second time penalty. Man, could this day get any worse for Paul Goffey? I really do feel for him there. Because, like, it's likely just the tiniest of penalties, the tiniest of, like, off-track margins there, and bam! You know, just gets a 3-second time penalty for merely getting it just slightly wrong. Which is something that wouldn't happen in the actual F1, races, in the actual F1 circus. And Caden has gone in to stop again. The full wets haven't quite worked out for him, so he's going back out on the inters. And my guess is given his 1 minute gap from the leader, it is all damage control from here on out. He's going to sail these inters to the finish line and hope for a safety car. Fanatical's even quicker in the second sector. Is there any stopping this man this early in the race? He's just set he's set 3 consecutive fastest laps. Purex though just usurps him there and just sets an even quicker fastest lap. So the 2 McLarens are absolutely flying. The top 3 in particular, you could actually arguably say the top 5 right now are just in a class of their own. They are flying right now through the field. They have adapted to the conditions of this track, and they are just cruising along. It's frankly a marvel to watch, just seeing such consistent driving from everyone, barring the penalties, but a lot of that's beyond our control. This is why the game should actually have like a steward system where you can actually be like a steward. You know, look, Codemasters, look, I don't know if you're hiring or not, but you know, if you do implement, you know, people spectating and being stewards, you pay me, all right? Because I've recommended that once before already. You need to pay me. We've got Flunky and Growth pretty close alongside each other here. We're seeing some close car action here. 8 laps into the race, and I wasn't expecting to see these two very close to each other, given Flunky was further back afield. But it looks like Flunky might be looking to make a move before the end of this lap. All signs are implying that he will, given he's been looking in the inside a lot on Urban Growth. Just see what he does. He's been actually quite quick. Actually, he's just right behind, and look how close it is now. It's less than 3/10. So that's kind of mad. He's going around the outside. He's taking the outside line. He's doing a Verstappen in Brazil. Fanatical sets an even faster lap to respond to Purex's fastest lap. So yeah, this man is just in control right now. He's nearly 2 seconds in front, and then a further second back to Perks. I'm going to keep alternating between how I pronounce his name just to confuse everyone. Let's go on board with this battle here between these two. Not much has changed there. In fact, if anything, Growth has gotten slightly ahead of him, so he's managed to keep his gap safe. Although, that being said, they are very close now. They're within 2/10 of each other, so something in Flunky's setup is working in the faster corners on this track. Mad Dog has accumulated a 3-second time penalty. He's currently sitting in P10. Full 7 seconds in front of P11. Oh, they swap places! They're alongside each other going into this turn. Does Flunky keep it? Flunky keeps it. Oh, they're just right alongside each other going into this corner. Heading up into turns 6, 7, and 8. He's gotten ahead. Marvellous stuff there from Flunky to overtake Urban Growth in turn 5. Let's see if he can hold on to it for the rest of the race. That was sublime to watch. Clean, composed between those two. We've got a spinner. We've got JDM has spun in turn 4. Very unfortunate there, but he's able to keep ahead of Stroker Race. Another yellow flag. It's a Mercedes-Benz. It is Mad Dog. Goffey is... Oh, Mad Dog spun again. Going to go on board with him real quick just to see if he can get his car back on track. He's lost 2 places from the subsequent double spin as Fanatical sets another fastest lap. Let's see if Perks can respond. He hasn't responded with the fastest lap. It's Fanatical's world, and we're all living in it apparently, because he's just setting fastest lap after fastest lap. That setup and those tyres are working simply wonderfully for him in this race. As most of the pack has at least 1 penalty. I will not at this point disclose what the penalties are. The drivers can see them, but for the sake of suspension and tension, I will not reveal them to the general viewing audience. We will wait and see what happens at the end of this race. But as it stands, if the race were to finish now, it'd be a commanding performance there from Fanatical. Without penalties, the top 2 have not received penalties yet. The only other cars who have not received penalties are 7th and 8th. These two, who just had an excellent battle just a lap prior, which involved Flunky getting ahead of Urban Growth on turn 5. It was a marvellous overtake there, and those two have kept it clean and have subsequently managed to avoid penalties so far in this race. The other two further down the field are Stroker Race and Caden, who've both completely avoided penalties. I suspect in part due to the lack of dirty air, as they've had no cars in front of them. Oh, and he spins. Caden spins in turn 1, turn 2 complex. Very unfortunate there. I suspect he probably went a bit gung-ho going into that corner there, trying to set a good first sector. As Fanatical crosses the line, and for the first time in 4 laps, doesn't set a fastest lap. So, he's turned down his Mercedes engine and has left it in the background just to let it cool down. Science has accumulated another 3-second penalty as he looks to dive down the inside of Bremer, and he does it. He sends it and passes Bremer for 4th place. Does he keep it though? Can he keep it on the track? He does. Excellent stuff there from Sainz to keep the car in 4th and ahead of Bremer. We've had another position swap here between Mad Dog and Ain't No Kid, although Ain't No Kid looks very slow heading out of the final corner onto the main straight. So I suspect maybe Ain't No Kid had a bit of a wobble heading out there. Likely lost the position as a result. So yeah, 11 laps down. It's been a bit of a slow affair. It's been a bit of a slow burner this race, all things considered. Gotta say though, it's been fun watching the top 5 duke it out. The gap between the top 5 and 6th place is growing. The top 3 actually, to be honest, are very close. The gap between the top 3 is like the same as the gap from 3rd to 4th. So the top 3, if they continue this pace, they've absolutely checked out. They've absolutely checked out early on in the race, and it's their race, and we're just watching it. Fanatical does not set a fastest lap, but they're all within about 2/10 of their best laps. So in terms of consistency, they're absolutely keeping it, as Sainz has accumulated a 1-second gap over Bremer. So he's flying ahead of Bremer. He's on a course to catch up to the top 3 as it stands. His penalty will put a podium place into question, or his penalties, I'm actually not sure, but it'll be interesting to see nonetheless. As it stands, all the cars are reasonably gapped from each other. The closest you are watching right now between Showtime and Perks, there's about less than a second separating those two. That being said, it's also about less than a second between these two as well. So we could be seeing some position swaps in the next few laps, depending on what's happening with Showtime and Sainz respectively. Oh, Perks just lost the back a little bit there, heading into turn 8. Heading over the cliff. Or heading over the mountain, sorry. It's not a cliff. Cliffs are for Forza Horizon. Bremer got back past Sainz. Wow, so Sainz has had a very slow lap, and Bremer's just managed to take full advantage of that and send it past Sainz for 4th place. So these two keep exchanging positions, although Sainz is catching right back up. Bremer has accumulated another 3-second time penalty. We have a spinner. It is McNeil's. McNeil's has crashed. We cannot see what happened. We'll see if we can find him. Yeah, he's full on crashed. Safety car is out. This will give everyone time to cool down their tyres, or swap them out if they see fit. So that's the second safety car of the race. It's McNeil's retiring from the race from a solid P9, got into Q3, and unfortunately crashed out. Likely from just the back end giving out over these mountains, these massive elevation changes that you have on this track. Elongated has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, so that's very unfortunate for him. He's going to go way back down the field. Bremer has set his penalty. He's fixed his penalty. It's all good now. At the cost of an extended pit stop, so he's now way back down the field. He's now back down in 8th from as high as 4th, as these two swap places for some reason. The top 3 very close to each other for some reason. Showtime is just flying. I don't know what happened there, but Showtime's just flown ahead. Does he have to give the place back, or did the game do its thing where it's like, oh no, you don't have to? Oh, if they got close there. Our fireworks are being shot, are they? Kind of looks like it. Goffey pits from P10 and serves his penalty as a result. Oh, does he serve his penalties? Oh, he's apparently going into the pit wall. Okay, he's out for murder apparently. Oh no, he's back on track. Okay, so apparently he was out for murder. His Alpine just wanted to murder random people in the paddock. Nonetheless, that bug has not ended his race, and he's back out on track with no compilations. Showtime does have a penalty, so I do wonder if he actually had a penalty there from pulling in front of Fanatical there and taking first place from him by force, effectively. See what happened there, to be honest. But nonetheless, the safety car is still going to go around. We will find out further back in the track if the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Elongated has 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. I don't know where he got that from, but I don't know how he would have violated track limits. He's going back into the pit lane. I think he's trying to settle his drive-through penalty, which he can't do under the safety car, unfortunately for him. So if he gets back up into the podium, he's going to be seeing some very interesting stuff. Can you see pens for your mate, Goffey? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, mate. It's alright, McNeils. It's unfortunate, but you did really well, mate. Got into Q3. You said yourself you were impressed with that lap. You should be very happy with yourself for getting into Q3 and at least providing us with some good racing there. You did well before that accident, and that accident, as far as I'm concerned, was beyond your control because this track in this condition is very, very nasty. Goffey has 9 seconds of penalties, by the way, along with signs, so that's not good at all. That's not good at all. Oh, what? Someone talk about penalties? Not from me. Didn't hear that from me. It's more. Oh, Bremer's actually spun, I think. So that's interesting. So as it stands, only 3 or 4 cars haven't had penalties yet. That's interesting. As we approach, as we're slowly approaching the halfway point of this race, we don't know how conditions are. We're left in the dark a little bit, actually. That's another thing, is that the spectators don't know what the track conditions are going to be like. So us, the poor buggers who are doing commentary, won't know what the track conditions are like. You know, we won't know if it will dry up or if it will get worse. We have to observe the cars in their pit stops and in their pit strategies to figure that out. So we're all doing that work ourselves. Thanks, Codemasters. If you implement weather for spectators or a special commentary mode, you will you owe me royalties for F1 2022, and you too, EA, while you're at it. It's not like EA can't give out money or anything like that. Oh no, poor little EA. They earn $1 billion per year in, what was it? I think it's like $1 billion per quarter or something in Ultimate Team revenue alone. Let's go Alpine. Yeah, let's go Alpine. I have shirts from every F1 team, but I've said this before, but for every team but Aston Martin, Ferrari, and Mercedes, I'm likely to buy a Ferrari shirt next, to be honest. But to be honest, I'd prefer if I could get a Ferrari with like a Ferrari shirt in like dark red with like the burnt engine cover Ferrari red. You know, the rear of it. We'll use Stroke Racer's car for reference here. Once the camera angle is convenient enough to show us the rear. Yeah, that dark red. Get me a shirt Ferrari in that color with just the Ferrari badge on it, and or like 16 and 55 on it. You know, the driver's numbers. I will buy that, no problem. I will absolutely buy that. And McNeils has reported in saying he'll be inches for the rest of the race. Thank you for your report there, mate. Thank you for letting us know what the track conditions will be like for the rest of the race. I had suspected it might be getting worse, but apparently it's going to stay the same, which is rather interesting. So we're just going to be sailing in for the rest of the race. That the remaining cars, the 14 that are on track, are going to be sailing through. Oh, that's a weird camera angle. They're going to be sailing in on the track and around it on the intermediate tyre. So yeah, that's that. Oh, I've got another email from Spotify. Yeah, go away, Spotify. I'm not buying premium. I'm old school. I still buy my music like digitally, like through like MP3 sites. Like I buy it through like Bandcamp mostly now. Or if it's like a really big artist. Oh, I'll. You didn't hear anything. You didn't hear what I was gonna say there. It's been censored out. It's been censored out by Amazon and Jeff Bezos. Anyway, but I do buy a lot of vinyl, and I recently bought a Queens of the Stone Age record on vinyl. Another one. Safety car is in this lap, so I can stop talking about random things and start getting back to talking about Formula One, the sport that we all love. The engineering soap opera that occasionally results in a good title fight, otherwise just results in one constructor dominating over the other, but we still watch it every year because it's fun. Because it's fun to watch the occasional chaotic result. And it's fun to emulate such chaotic results in league racing. Brings out the social element. Particularly in lockdown, we've had a lot going on with that, and it's been good to be doing a lot of racing in that period. So we've got Fanatical and Showtime alongside each other, which is a little weird. They're doing a bit of a Hamilton-Verstappen style thing there going on there. And Fanatical has a penalty with Showtime. I don't know what for. It looked like the smallest of taps. But he's accumulated a penalty as a result, but Fanatical is having absolutely none of it and nearly tries to send it down the inside into turn 1, but fails to do so, which is very unfortunate. We've got Elongated in the pit lane serving his pit lane penalty. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1, I'm not sure what for. Not seeing a lot going on here. There's Mad Dog and Caden exchange positions there, and Bremer and Urban Growth exchange positions too. Goffey has another 3-second penalty, so that's accumulated, and yet more penalties for poor Goffey, who's had otherwise a solid race. And Sainz gets ahead of Perks, although Perks gets ahead back off track. and gets a penalty as a result. So that effectively means there's only 3 cars without penalties now. So penalties are going to dictate a lot of these results. As Sainz gets back under the inside there onto turn 8, and they're side by side. Perks and Sainz side by side. Wow, that's particularly risky going side by side through there, but you know what? Perks gets back ahead and keeps P3 in his wings. Turns out Red Bull doesn't give you wings in higher altitude places. You just see cars going a bit wide there in that little bit in turn 8 and 9. But Showtime now has checked out. He's gained about half a second. Fanatical, I don't think will be terribly content with that and absolutely wants to get that first place back as JDM and Urban Growth swap positions for P7 and P8 respectively. And that's been a big flurry of position changes just in this lap alone. I think that's been more in this lap alone than in the previous laps so far, I think. We've had quite a lot going on there. We've got elongated pretty far back from the rest of the field there. Probably doing runs, to be honest, given he had to serve his pit lane penalty. Making the most out of what he can do. He served the 3 second. He's now got another 3 second penalty there. But Showtime is keeping a half a second gap ahead of Fanatical. There's no DRS in these wet conditions that we know of. Fanatical has got another 3 second penalty, but Fanatical is looking on the inside there. He wants to get ahead of Showtime at turn 5, but that would have been a dive of the century if he had pulled that off. But Sainz and Perks are once again very close there, as Perks sits the best first sector of anyone on track currently, and Ain't No Kid has accumulated a 3 second time penalty further back in 13th position. So that's that currently. Not a lot else has changed there. Perks has gained quite a gap ahead of Sainz there. Going further back afield, we can see Bremer and Flunky, the 2 Alpha Tauris, handling 5th and 6th in their grasp. And Flunky in particular has had a quiet but very, very decent race. JDM further back, about a second and a bit behind him. Urban Growth not far behind him. Urban Growth has kept it very respectively clean too. He's set to gain quite a few positions given everyone else's penalties. If the gaps stay this close, Urban Growth is on par for a very solid result there. So the top 3 previously didn't have penalties, but now they do, which is very unfortunate. But they exchanged fastest laps anyway. The top 3 all exchanged fastest laps. The track is getting a lot quicker than it was earlier on, and it appears that the tire wear hasn't really been a big issue. I thought it'd be a bigger issue and it'd be starting to drag down the cars at this point, but it turns out absolutely not. And as a result, the top 3 have all exchanged fastest laps and will likely continue to do so at this point, given their pace as it stands. Hard to say, actually. I didn't actually see much. Let's see what Sainz does as a barometer. Oh, we've gone past the timing zone for Sector 1. Never mind then. Never mind then. And it's now down to under 0.2 of a second between Showtime and Fanatical. So Fanatical is looking very racy there and is looking very keen to take back. Oh, he's lost about 0.3 there, heading out turn 8. He looks like he might have had a bit of a moment, actually. But it's still looking very close between those two. Further down the field, we're not seeing much movement. Mad Dog and Caden are within about half a second of each other, and a position swap could happen there. A bit hard to say, a bit difficult to say at this point in time. But Striker Ace is running a quiet race, which could net him a point or 2, depending on if he can keep the gap close enough between the cars in front of him, who all have noteworthy amounts of penalties. There Ain't No Kid runs a little wide, but is still comfortably ahead of Elongated. Showtime has increased his gap. That was as low as 0.2 of a second at one point and is now back up to half a second. He sets a faster lap, but it's not fastest. But it's about 0.2 off fastest lap, which was currently held by Perks. Fanatical goes just slightly wide and accumulates a 3 second time penalty for being a naughty, naughty man. Going wide there. JDM goes wide also and gives himself a nice penalty there for merely existing. Oh, Bremer goes wide there and nearly loses the back end. Well, he doesn't go wide, but he absolutely nearly lost the back end. Oh, Flunky and Bremer look like they're going to exchange positions or hit each other. Hard to say, actually. They look like they were going to hit each other, but nothing else really happening further afield. Oh, Fanatical loses it. The McLarens hit each other. McLarens have accumulated damage and have hit each other. Safety car is out. That was very lucky for those two McLarens. Those two McLarens' races have been ruined through no fault of their own. And so that's just shaken up the order quite a bit there, because they'll both have to pit for damage because Perks likely has some form of front wing. He has his front wing completely gone, and Fanatical likely has some small front wing damage or side pod damage, which will affect his blistering performance. So that's just handed first place's, or the already impressive first place gain from Showtime on a bit more of a platter now, because he's just going to gap the cars behind him, because his competition has taken itself out of the race as Perks dives into the pit lane along with Bremer. Bremer actually faked us out. He actually jinxed us all. So that's both McLarens. They're double stacking, which is not ideal, given the car. Perks has a front wing change that he needs to do, so they're both going to be held up. So what's been a very decent race and a front row lockout for the two McLarens has resulted in total disaster for them. Yeah, Fanatical also reset the track too, just to make things worse. So yeah, it's just gone. It's gone from coasting in first to just absolute, just unfortunate chaos between the two McLaren teammates there. So as it stands, your podium places are Showtime, Sainz, and Bremer, with Flunky now looking even more impressive in 4th place. Unfortunately, he's a Div 2 driver, so he cannot finish this race. But it does go to show that consistency will net you rewards, unless you're in Div 1, and that means, you know, you're gonna be really fucking quick. And even if you're moderately quick, you might get 9th. I'm saying this from experience. I don't know if enough of my barometer of being quick anymore, but it's not about me. It's about Div 3. As you can see, a couple of European Union flags being thrown around, which is rather interesting. I don't know if any drivers ever wanted to willingly put themselves under the nation of the European Union. Power to them if they did, because the European Union's a good thing. Contrary to what some Brits would say. But look how well Brexit's going. Slander on this channel. I get the feeling I probably shouldn't be talking about that on stream, to be honest. Well, I'm an Australian, so who cares? Who cares about what I have to say? There's an Australian flag in the background there too. Speaking of flags, the Australian flag isn't that good. I think it could be a bit better. No, it's not. I'm in trouble. I'm in danger! So we're on lap 21 of 33, and we're under the 3rd safety car of the race. Yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. We've got the safety car just keeping everyone level. Fanatical is quite a bit further behind everyone else, but these two here, Perks and Fanatical, that incident, wow. They've got a bit of work to do to recover from that. I've got to say that much. That's been absolutely that's been amazing. You don't get that in F1. You don't get, well, maybe you do. You get that between title rivals, but not between teammates. So yeah, you don't get that in F1. There you go. I was right. Oh, I'm hearing the weird low end purr. I got mentioned. Uh-oh, what happened? Yeah, I was going to say, I did see that, Scott. I did see that, and Vorno did point that out too. It's hard to see. I did see it because, again, he just suddenly popped up, but it was over the mountain too, so it was a little harder to see when exactly he did that. But yeah, that's a slam dunk penalty for him. Race hasn't finished yet, though. Yeah, I will find the most random things to say during safety car. It keeps things going, you know. If it's awkward silence and you're seeing these cars go along, unless people want to hear the engine sounds. And I just got a random invite to play F1 2021. No, I am not going to play F1 2021. I am technically playing the game by spectating, but I'm commentating. So safety car is in this lap, and we are hopefully going to witness safety car free racing for the next 11 laps. We've had a good run so far. The previous safety car run till now was pretty solid, and this one was only brought along because of inter-team contact that did not result in DNFs, which frankly is a bit of an over-exaggeration. It should have been a virtual safety car, but you know, Codemasters things. Yeah, exactly. Red Bull Istanbul 2010. Oh, Red Bull Istanbul 2010 and Azerbaijan 2018. That's exactly... You said 2019 there. But Gasly, Verstappen, and Albon never had any contact with each other. It was Ricardo and Verstappen. But anyway, we're back green, racing once again. And Showtime has pulled away from the remaining cars, although Bremer dives down the inside and takes second place, although Sainz runs a little bit wide there. Striker S has a 3-second penalty. Yeah, and Sainz keeps second place. No, Bremer's got it back, actually. Will Bremer keep it? Bremer keeps it, but nearly loses it. Wow, that's a wonderful move there from Bremer to take second place there from Sainz. And Sainz loses third as well, so the two AlphaTauris, there's no team orders going on at the Red Bull cars. Sainz dives down the inside and gets ahead of Flunky, and there's a bit of contact there between JDM and Flunky there as they sort themselves out and try to get themselves back into racing, in the rhythm of racing. Urban Growth in 6th place. The only Div 3 driver to be racing without penalties as it stands. So he's done incredible to keep that car in track limits and to be in a points-paying position. So he's, if you ask me personally, at this point in the race, he is my driver of the day, regardless of the end result. Just keeping it clean, keeping it simple. Purex and Elongated overtake each other for 9th and 10th. So Purex is back in the points. Fanatical will be looking to get on the inside as well. Oh, actually, sorry, the outside line, as we see a Ferrari of Strecker S running a little wide there. We see Fanatical super eager to get ahead of Elongated and super keen to get himself back into the points-paying positions. We'll see what he does as Purex gets ahead of Stroker Race in a nice move there on the main straight now. They're both low on ERS, but that's not stopping them from doing some quality racing there as Elongated gets back ahead of Stroker Race for P9. So that was a wonderful set of moves there. Good overtaking there from everyone involved as Stroker Race concedes another position to Fanatical, who now takes P10 and is now back in the points-paying positions. Up in front is Showtime with a 1.3 second gap. That's ever increasing, actually. It was 1.2 as I was reporting it, but now up to 1.3, ahead of Bremer, who is himself 1.2 seconds ahead of Sainz, as Goffey has another 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits. And as it stands here, it's all looking rather juicy for a final few laps showdown here to mad dash to grab some positions. As Fanatical looks to get past Caden at turn 8, he bumps the rear of him a little bit, but there's no instability from either of those cars. They keep themselves on track and out of trouble. As we're on board with Perks now. Heads down turn 10. Or is it turn 9? Oh, it's turn 10. If you think it's turn 9, you're stupid. I totally didn't say turn 9. Elongated and Fanatical swap positions in an opportunistic move. Fanatical tries to overtake him on the outside, it seems, but couldn't quite pull it off and loses time to Elongated. So Fanatical is now ever more desperate to try to get ahead of Elongated for P9 as it stands. What could have been a double podium for McLaren is now them scraping for points. As Elongated has accumulated a penalty for track limit violations and still remains ahead of Fanatical as Perks set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:27.6. So he's absolutely flying. The accident hasn't deterred him. He's still keen on getting a solid result out of that despite the obstacles in his way. As it stands, we're not seeing much movement further up and down the field. Everyone's pretty close to each other. That being said, Elongated and Fanatical are within about a 10th of each other here. Fanatical is going to be very eager to get it down the inside and finish this move on Elongated. Let's see if he dives down the inside. He does dive down the inside at turn 5. This is the second time we've seen an overtake at turn 5, and he's nailed it. He sent the letter, express mail to Spain from Portugal. 1-day shipping. Marvelous stuff there from Fanatical. I do apologise for my weird, feels like shaky commentary. I haven't done much commentary. I haven't done much speaking in the last 2 weeks. I've just kind of been chill. I haven't, kind of getting familiar with it all again. So do excuse me if there's, if it's not up to the standard of the last few weeks. So as it stands, we've got Showtime still in front. He's gained only a little bit though. You'd think he would have gained a bit more from his pace prior, but I know Bremer is keeping him absolutely honest in P2. Oh, Sainz has run wide actually. Sainz has run very wide and has lost a lot of time to Flunky behind him and JDM as a result. So this could be a overtake later on. It doesn't look like it's raining at all. Maybe that safety car maybe will give us maybe some dry weather racing. Hard to say because that track does look pretty good right now. We're seeing moisture being wicked up from the cars. Well, for whatever reason, the game isn't rendering moisture being wicked up from the tyres because we obviously know how tyres work. They basically just divide and conquer straight through the center of those tyres, And water goes through those grooves and obviously sends them flying. That's how wet weather tyres work, as Mad Dog gets ahead of Elongated for 10th place in another turn 5 dive. But anyway, back to the tyre talk. So those tyres will divide like the sea, like Moses dividing the sea, you know, religiously. That's the best analogy I can give here. And you're not seeing much water being divided. So I do very much wonder if around about lap 29 we'll see people, maybe people further back of field diving in to try to get themselves into higher positions. As Goffey spins at turn 8, the dreaded turn 8 spin. There's been the turn 5 dive and the turn 8 spin today. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but sadly this track is like that. It's a brutal track. Track does indeed look dry. And the cars are going quite slowish through some of these turns as well. Like obviously we've got the pace in the medium speed corners and everything, but as Purex is on the back, he's seeing the Alfa Romeo branded rear wing of JDM. Is he going to dive down the inside turn 1 and get this position taken? He does take this position. He's now back up into P5 after a rather nice overtake there. JDM, I don't think is quite finished yet. No, he's settled. JDM is not looking to try to take that position back. As we see the two Aston Martins. Urban Growth's lost a position actually. Likely to Perks actually. But he's very likely to sit to game positions. As these two here, turn 5 again. Oh, they've hit each other. There's a bit of contact there between the two Div 2 wildcards. And they've lost a flurry of positions as Perks goes back up into the podium places as a result of their contact. JDM gains from that and Sainz loses 3 positions as a result. So they just didn't give each other enough room. It was very unfortunate there from those two. Not enough room given, and they both lose out as a result. Flunky losing out less than Sainz, but they still lost out. And Bremer is actually catching back up to Showtime. This race the podium order will be decided by penalties. It's absolutely going to be decided by penalties. We have a spinner further down the field. It might have been Fanatical. He might have lost it a little bit and had to slow way off because Mad Dog's caught right up to him. The person he overtook just 2 laps prior is catching right back up to him. So Fanatical hasn't had the climb back up through the field that he's wanted, but Bremer is catching right up to Showtime. Look how close it is between these two now. It's back down to about half a second. This looks absolutely mad. These last few laps are going to be quite the ride. I'll assure you that much. As Flunky Sainz and JDM are swapping places, they take each other, they go a bit wide and push each other a bit wide off track there as JDM pushes Sainz wide again, but Sainz has a cutback there. It looks pretty good here to handle the overtake here quite nicely, although he's held up a little bit by JDM's positioning on the track. He might do the turn 5 dive again. Let's see if he does the turn 5 dive. He goes down the inside, does the turn 5 dive. Does he keep 5th place though? No, he doesn't quite keep it. Takes a bit of front wing damage for his efforts too, it seems. Hard to say at this point. We'll see at this camera angle if he takes front wing damage. No, he doesn't appear to have taken front wing damage. Fanatical has spun again and has reset the track again. So that's another slam dunk penalty. I saw that on the mini-map there. He was off into the Rolex thing there and he's just gone back on the track. So what started as a dream start, Fanatical has just turned into an absolute nightmare for the poor dude. Never fun to have a potential podium wasted away like that. Never fun to have points paying positions wasted away like that. I can tell you that much, as Flunky now has a penalty. So the last driver to not have a penalty is Urban Growth. He's looking to gain big from this, in my opinion. He could gain massive from this. Yeah, track is drying up quite a bit, it seems. What is that? Oh, that's the camera. It's a camera on a hoist, like, across the pit lane straight. I was like, what the hell is that? Is that like a graphical bug? But no. Anyway, Showtime has fended off the threat from Bremer there, and has gained about half a second in this lap alone, although he's lost a little bit going out of turn 5. So we're seeing further down the field. We're not seeing much movement further down the field. We're seeing the two Aston Martins pretty close and comfy with each other at this point. Getting into about 1 second. Caden runs very wide though, heading out turn 5. Mad Dog there, running a bit wide as well. I'm seriously wondering if these intermediates are actually good enough to last us at this point. Fanatical and Elongated once again get a battle for position, but this time it's not for points paying positions. As you can see, Fanatical is getting very close there, and Fanatical just dives down the inside there and just absolutely takes that position. Although, Elongated dives back past him. So that was quite a wonderful exchange of positions there. Fanatical dives down and then loses it from going a bit too deep. Let's see, Showtime has gained that gap once again. We have a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. It is a Ferrari. It is Stroker Ace who has spun. He is going to try to get his car back on track. He's going back the right way, I think. Yeah, he is. It's hard to see there. Oh, and he spins again for good measure. Very unfortunate. Tyres are just heated right up and he's put a bit too much throttle in and has just lost all those positions he's gained from all the hard work he's done. And Elongated has another 3-second penalty for track limit violations. Bremer and Showtime have checked out from the rest of the field. The gap between them is absolutely mad. Fanatical has gotten back up into points-paying positions as off the back of Stroker Ace spinning off. And you can see Elongated there in the distance taking a very wide line through there. Stroker Ace spins once again, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we have another spinner. It's actually Elongated himself and Stroker Ace, I believe, spun. They both spun. Stroker Ace is going into the pit lane. Likely to try... Fanatical has a 10-second time penalty from corner cutting. Did he get hit from Mad Dog there? No, another safety car. What happened there? Did he just straight up retire? No, he's hit the wall. I think he's just given up. I think he's just had enough. Unfortunately, it's just all gone downhill, and as a result, we've got Stroker Ace out on the soft tyre. So it is likely dry enough. We're going to see he's on board and just see how he handles this outlap, because it's going to be very interesting to see if the soft tyre is adequate enough now to race. It's looking quite shaky out there. It looks pretty damp on track, actually, so... looking quite shaky. All the cars are still on their inters. Oh, hang on, we've got Flunky pitting. I think he's pitting to retire, likely, because he's a Div 2 driver. So, I don't know what's going on there. But, no, he's pitting for softs. So, I guess he's not retiring for pit lane. I guess he's gonna violate that and continue as normal. Unless I'm wrong. Unless, like, I've been baited by Josh and Pinju. So I've been absolutely baited by him. Yeah, quite a few cars are going on the soft tyre in a last-ditch attempt to gain places. What else would you do at this point, though? You know, you're further down the field. The track's looking pretty good. Go onto the soft tyre, see what you can do. That's what I'd absolutely do. Although it does look a little unstable out there. It looks like it's going to be... Looks like only the very best would be able to get the most out of soft tyres in these conditions. As you can see, Stroker Ace is racing along there, going past turn 10, back downhill. You can see the safety car in the distance, along with the rest of the field. That's been bunched up nicely. Well, the top 10 that have... Oh, hang on. It's not even the top 10. It's top 6 that are all bunched within each other. So it'll be interesting to see... Yeah, there's no spray coming from tyres. There hasn't been spray coming from the tiles. Yeah, I was going to say, Showtime overtook you illegally. I saw that. And that's really weird, because like I saw him do that, and you'd think he'd got a bigger penalty from that, but... Unless he took advantage of an exploit or something, but I have no idea what happened. We are still under safety car with 3 laps left to go. So this is the 4th and final safety car, as the safety car does not appear in with 2 laps left or less. I think it's 3 laps left. So this was just outside the window for the last safety car to show up. As Showtime looks like he was going to dive into the pit lane there, but opted not to. Keeping those tyres at least semi-warm. Science is retired from session. As he's in Div 2, he has to retire from session. Good race from him, nonetheless, has to be said. Got up to the podium places from the low positions of the low 15th or 16th. And, yeah, good on him for getting high up there. I was gonna say, Fanatical, if you've got video proof of him breaking the rules there with safety car, do send it in to the stewards. They'll give it a look, and they'll be able to give you an outcome based off what happened. Got video, that's especially important. So we're now watching this weird camera angle. This weirdly positioned camera angle. Like, this is just bizarre. Like, what do you gain out of that camera shot in particular? What, the hotel? Oh, look at all these rich people dining and thriving on your slave labor from being underpaid in the hospitality industry. Yeah, I'm talking about the so-called wage shortage. It's not a labor shortage. It's just you don't want to pay your employees properly, you twats. Anyway, that's that. Did I say something about what did I say? Food? I'm hungry. Actually, I had a nice dinner. Actually, it is in stream. It is in the stream, but it still we'll go through that. But also, extra footage from your perspective would help. I'm guessing it would likely be a slam dunk penalty. Safety cars in this lap, but I don't know. We have a Mercedes, a Mad Dog, who's spun off the track. That's very unfortunate there. He was in a points-paying position. He still is in a points-paying position, actually. So that spin's just giving him slightly less points. But safety car is in this lap. We are going to see a 2-lap Mad Dash to determine the winner of the Div 3 RRL Portuguese Grand Prix. Is Grand Prix trademarked? I don't know. Who cares? I'm calling it a Grand Prix anyway. Safety car peels in. Shame we can't get a camera view of the safety car. That would have been kind of cool. But nonetheless, back racing once again as Showtime keeps the pack rather close as to, keep everyone tense. And Perks gets ahead of Bremer heading into turn 1, but we've got It's Your Boy here just storming into P3 out of nowhere. We're seeing some very close racing. A couple of cars going wide into turn 1. We've got a spinner further down the field. It is the AlphaTauri of Flunky. Very unfortunate there from Flunky. He had a very solid race up until now. He's just been brilliant and flawless as Caden spins. So it's all happening. And Urban Growth, the last person to avoid penalties, gets a penalty from actually doing the safe thing of avoiding Caden, his teammate. So he unfortunately gets a penalty for, being safe. Good logic there, Codemasters. But keeps P5, and will likely do so given the cars around him have noteworthy bigger penalties. So 12 cars left running with 1 lap to go. Showtime leads ex-Bremer by 7/10 of a second as Elongated and Goffey exchange positions, but are still alongside each other roughly going into turn 9, turn 10. But Goffey dives down the inside, and he keeps it. Oh, and Mad Dog spins at the same corner for the second time. Goffey did a brilliant job there of taking 6th place from Elongated. Fortune for Mad Dog. And It's Your Boy here also spins. So they both spin. Wow, that's very unfortunate. And he just takes out the Fly Emirates board for good measure, leaving bits of board everywhere. We're seeing another yellow flag in Sector 3. It is Mad Dog, who I believe has spun once again. So yeah, those tyres... Yeah, those tyres are looking quite rough for quite a few people. The heat that's gathering into them with a lack of moisture in the track is resulting in just pain, pretty much. As Perks and Bremer exchange positions, Perks it seems like he pushes Bremer just a little bit wide as JDM spins out of P3. I'm not sure if that was from contact, but wow. Lucky he's ghosted there, because that could have been 2 or 3 cars out of the race instantly there. So JDM loses positions, and Ain't No Kid gains P8 with a yellow flag in Sector 1. And It's Your Boy here going reverse in the pit lane. I think he's just doing donuts. No. Oh, he might be doing donuts. Hard to say. But either way, controversial. But as it stands, Purex has gone from top 3 to further back down the field, basically last, back up to second. He's had a storming race to just go up and down the points-paying positions, and even outside the points-paying positions, to keep himself into P2 here. We'll see how the penalties go. It's too hard to determine a winner given the penalties are affecting everyone on track right now, and we have 11 finishes. So I'll wait until the thing shows up proper, so I will not call who is the victor. Oh, hang on a minute. What happened to Perks? I didn't see that. I was too busy chatting. He stopped on track. Did the game glitch out? Did this game just completely glitch out? Wonky sets fastest lap. I think the game completely glitched out. I have no idea what happened. What the hell? That was wild. While I was just chatting away. Goffey, I think, does get driver of the day personally from me, because he just got P6 out of nowhere. We're going to find out what the actual final results are. Flunky is a Div 2 driver, so I don't think his result counts. I mean, he still gets the in-game driver of the day. but I think he's Div 2, so I don't know if his results counted or not. Alright, so let's do 2 versions if he is a Div 3 driver. So Flunky wins from Showtime and Urban Growth, but if he is a Div 2 driver, then Showtime wins from Urban Growth, who takes P2 or P3 from just keeping it on track and just keeping a quiet, calm and consistent race. So actually Urban Growth gets my driver of the day just because he's in the podium places. And Bremer takes P4, Elongate takes P5, Goffey takes P6, Ain't No Kid takes P7, JDM takes P8, Stroke Race takes P9, and Mad Dog takes P10. And that rounds out your points paying positions. Both McLarens started on the front row and they're walking away with no points. Could have been a 1-2 for McLaren, but unfortunately, these things happen sometimes in racing. DNF's Fanatical, McNeils, and I'm a Bird. I'm a Bird did not start, technically did not start the race because he crashed before the start-finish line. But it is what it is. That was that race. That was quite wild. I'm going to find out real quick. I'm going to check the Discord. Oh, I've got to grab my hazmat suit on. Let me check the Discord real quick. You are P3, yeah. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, thought so. I gotta get the podium places up. I need to figure out who's the podium place. I need to figure out. Oh, it's starting. Okay, we're back in qualifying 1 apparently. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, I know that. No shit. Okay, podium places. FH5 time. Who was in podium? You know, you think I'd remember, but actually, you know what? No, I won't do podium. I won't do podium interviews. It's a shame that they can't finish, but it is what it is. Yeah. So I'll just finish it up there. Apologies for the messy ending there. Rather chaotic ending to that race there. But nonetheless, I hope it was entertaining. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll hopefully see you guys next week when we stream. I actually forgot what track it was next week, actually. But we'll stream Div 3 next week. So